We are back at it with part 2 of SojuTalk episode 102, where we discuss recent K-pop news and events, have a visit from cousin Harold, and give you the state of the nation. Let's get it. All right, so news and events from last week. In general, because of the COVID situation, a lot less news. So we're scrapping along. We got some interesting stuff. So the first one, conflict over fan cams. Okay. So the Korean Fair Trade Commission, also known as the FTC, is seeking to establish a standard contract in regards to music show fan cams. This discussion is the result of an ongoing dispute between entertainment agencies and broadcast stations, including KBS, NBC, SBS, and Mnet, over profit distributions from these fan cams. Currently, music shows are generating profit and subscribers from fan cams on online platforms such as YouTube that are not shared with idols nor their agencies.
Interesting.
So these aren't true fan cams, right? These aren't people at concerts or at festivals. What's going on is, as these, like, your favorite K-pop people are performing at, like, Music Bank or something, behind the television cameras, they also have people with, like, worse level cameras, like more fan cam cameras going on.
Your phones.
And then they post this onto the YouTube channels for, like, Music Bank or something.
Focused on a member usually.
On a member or the wide shot of the group, something like that. Apparently, so obviously they're gaining subscribers and views, which equals money, right, from these videos. And as it stands right now, they're not sharing it with the agencies or the artist.
I don't like that.
Right? That feels dirty, right?
Yeah, no, I don't like that at all. They should share that money.
It feels like they're double dipping on the content, right?
When they're not Selena Gomez?
I don't know, but maybe. But you know what I'm saying, though.
No. Yeah, here's the thing, right? Like, Korean copyright music, not really great. You know, it's common. You hear a lot of composers and producers and small-time indie musicians complain about how, like, they don't make that much money off of streaming sales because so many people in the middle take all the money. This, to me, feels like a part of that entire groove. Don't like that groove. Let's get off of this groove and get on the better groove, which is share that money with the people who made it. Share that money with the people who worked hard for it. Sure, NBC or KBS or SBS or Mnet went through the effort of, like, filming the thing, but, like, so did the people dancing, and so did the people who make the song, and so did people who, like, applied makeup on the idols. They should get paid for that as well.
Yeah, I read into this a little more. It seems like it's to the extent where they might start having to retroactively remove the old fan cams.
Ooh.
I heard that as well. I don't know if that's proven. And what I read was that if this kind of proposal goes through, the only way we'll get fan cams of specific groups is if the agency and the TV station come to an agreement. Like, yeah, you could do that. Just throw us whatever amount of money.
I'm not, like, super big on fan cams.
I'm mixed because I do like those 4K choreo wide shot videos, which is sort of in a similar realm to this.
Okay.
I don't know where that falls in this discussion. So it's harder to say. And sometimes I do like watching fan cams of, like, my favorite member of X group, right? So
I think from a audience perspective, I feel like I watch fan cams, and most of the time they are from those music show companies because they do have, like, that angle, and
it's so HD.
They have the capacity to have, like, a good quality fan cam that maybe not a real fan might get, like, as far as the shot. But I feel like, I don't know, it does feel like they're just trying to make that easy money because
it's easy money.
It's not that much extra effort to just have somebody separately recording individual members. And I also feel like sometimes it depends on the music show, and I can't say it happens all the time, but I feel like sometimes it's not all the members, right? I feel like it's a couple of people.
Sometimes it's a couple of the popular ones.
Yeah. So I feel like, I don't know, they definitely know that this is an avenue for money. Like, people watch these things and they are taking advantage of that. So I hope they come to a resolution, though, because I feel like they can be beneficial for people to blow up, kind of like Honey did, you know. People get famous for certain fan cams, but having it done this way, it's kind of shifty.
It feels shady, right? Like,
Yeah.
exploitative. Because it's like, I don't know. It's like you're getting paid to be on the show, and they're like, well, they produce all this other content of me, and I don't get any money. I'd feel kind of weird about that.
Yeah.
I think it's the right thing to do, and I hope that the fan cam culture doesn't die, because it is honestly one of the things surrounding the K-pop like live performances that people like to watch, right?
I mean, wait, sorry, is this all the fan cams or just the fan cams that are produced by the broadcaster?
Yeah.
Just the ones that are related to the music shows,
Right.
I think
So, like,
specifically.
If I like take a fan cam,
That's fine. I think. I don't know. I think they're just targeting it because it's the big guys, like the big music show companies. That
Right.
would be my
Yeah.
guess.
Okay.
But we'll see. It's a bit of a, obviously when there's money involved, it gets messy, right? But the next topic, groups on the horizon. I didn't know how to name
wow.
that. That's just what I came up with. So
Groups on the horizon.
first
that
one.
sounds like a group.
FNC Entertainment will be producing a movie titled P1H Beginning of a New World for their new boy group P1 Harmony, scheduled to debut in October. The group is reported to have 6 members, and FNC is home to other groups such as FT Island, CM Blue, AOA, N Flying, SF9, and Cherry Bullet.
I mean, I will say, FNC right now has a bad taste in their mouth a little bit
Of course, yeah.
after the whole AOA Mina incident.
They have a lot of
Yeah.
boy groups already, right?
That's
like
true.
N Flying,
Yeah.
SF9, right?
I'm also,
like,
I mean, I don't know if they mentioned given more details, but is this going to be like SF9 where it's typical boy group structure, or is it going to be like a band base?
that's an interesting point, which I do not
Yeah.
have the answer to because we're still
It's
in the
been a
early
while.
stages, but we'll have to see. I'm trying to look through some articles, but I don't see anything that's like specifying
Yeah.
one way or the other.
Yeah, it'd be interesting if it's a band though, because it's been a while.
It could
Since
also be a
N Flying.
situation where like they begin as a band and suddenly they drop their guitars and start dancing
Like
Gotcha.
anyway,
like AOA.
yeah, it could
But,
happen.
Let's move on to the next one. Maru Entertainment officially announces debut of new boy group Ghost 9 by
Oh.
the end of 2020. The group will have 9 members with birth years ranging from 99 to 2004. Members will include members of the pre-debut unit group Teen Teen, which includes
Yes.
some of the kids from Produce 101, I believe.
Yes.
Oh,
So,
wow.
Maru Entertainment is home to Narazo and Park Ji-hoon as well. But Park Ji-hoon is not listed as one of these members, so I don't know what's going on with that.
Interesting.
Ghost 9 is a cool name.
Yeah.
I
You
kinda like
remember?
it.
You remember the kid back in Produce, Henami, that you liked, Warren?
She's
Oh, it's
Yeah.
Henami Ghost 9!
Yes.
He's in Teen Teen. That's
Yes,
one of the
yes.
kids.
Oh, okay. I'm
Yeah.
lucky, kind of excited.
Interesting.
I would
so-
I would like to adopt him as a little brother. Putting it out there.
Yeah, so that's an interesting move. You know, we could like Maru does not. I don't think they have like the best track record for artists, right? The list is kind of Norazo and Park Ji-hoon's a very interesting list, right? So
Norazo.
I wonder though if Park Ji-hoon will end up being added to this or not. That's something we'll have to see. But last one, this is probably the big one. So as of August 26th, this has been rumored for a long time, but YG has officially registered and trademarked the name Baby Monsters. Many believe that Baby Monsters will be the name of YG's new girl group that is rumored to debut either within 2020 or in 2021.
Will they get songs after they debut?
I feel like
so?
that name, once the members are like 25, would be kind of bad.
Yeah, here's the thing, right? Because like already, even as Blackpink, because they're kind of going for like a sexy concept with this comeback. You know, promiscuous, but like at the same time, their music video is like very cutesy, and I feel kind of awkward balancing those two things. It's gonna happen eventually, Baby Monsters.
Like, of course, they do need to debut another group at some point, right? That's just how K-pop works. And it's like, all right, JYP, we got Twice and ITZY.
Yeah.
SM, Red Velvet, and it's almost assured that that new girl group's happening soon, right?
Right.
Yes.
Right.
I feel like YG's like, all right, I guess we got to do this sooner than later, right? Like, let's get the wheel rolling or the ball rolling. I don't know if it's the right thing considering that, like, Blackpink is so close to getting the monster pop off, right? Which they're obviously trying to achieve with the album, right? That, I don't know, maybe you want to run with the peak a little bit more before you do this, right? I don't know.
Yeah, I wouldn't schedule this for this year at all. I would
Yeah.
guess next year, but
It said rumored to debut within 2020 and 2021.
Yeah.
I hope it's December 2021.
Exactly.
I think that's
Yeah,
okay.
I agree. I
Late
agree.
2021.
I think we need Blackpink the album. Then we need like Blackpink the EP in the spring, and then Blackpink the album part 2 in November, and then we debut this in December or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah, I kind of like that plan.
There it
I
is.
like
Right?
plan.
That sounds
Yeah,
great, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll have to see though.
Baby
But
monster.
those are the new groups on the horizon. New kids coming through. That's just how K-pop works. Next one, this was added because BTS had a monster last 24 hours.
Yo,
so
wild boys.
BTS's week of accomplishments is what we're calling this. So on August 27th, BTS's Dynamite achieved the 6th perfect all kill of 2020 by topping the real-time charts of Melon, Genie, Bug, Soribara, Flow, and iChart, in addition to Vibe's daily chart and iChart's weekly chart. The other 5 songs to achieve perfect all kills in 2020 include Zico's Any Song, IU's Give You My Heart, IU's 8 featuring Suga, Blackpink's How You Like That, and Sok3's Beach Again. So shout out to Dynamite.
Shout outs.
This is the big one. And it also, I was passing by during our break, and it's on the Korean news, this one. So
Oh.
today, on August 31st, it was announced that Dynamite placed #1 on Billboard's Hot 100 chart.
Oh.
This is the first time that a K-pop chart has reached #1, with Psy's Gangnam Style hitting #2 back in 2012. The only other groups to debut at #1 on the Hot 100 are Aerosmith and the Jonas Brothers.
Wow.
So BTS is officially as big as the Jonas Brothers.
Technically, yes.
yeah.
Man, that's kind of wild. Number
This is
one
a
on wow.
This is a crazy achievement because that's a weekly chart of singles, not who can sell the most albums or anything. This is the singles chart, right?
Right. Man, that's actually really wild. That's crazy.
Impressive.
That's
Congrats
crazy.
to them.
Additionally, keep going, Warren.
Real quick about the Billboard performances, a lot of criticism that K-pop gets with how it does in Billboard charts is that there's a lack of longevity, as in it hits a high peak and then calms down really quickly. Whereas tracks like Lil Nas X's Old Time Road is obviously a crazy comparison, but that was on the charts for way too long.
I agree. Yeah.
I hope this stays for a long time, and I think it could.
I think
So I'm
it
kind of
will.
excited.
Yes.
Yeah, this is a pretty groundbreaking achievement, though.
Yeah.
#1 on the Hot 100.
Re-listenability, I'm telling you.
Additionally, Dynamite has sold over 500,000 copies in the United States at the time of this
Wow.
recording, which is the group's fastest selling song to reach this mark. So
Wow.
I want to also point out that the Billboard Hot 100 thing, there's no technical bundling anymore, right?
Good.
Because of the changes. So they did this legit to get
Yeah.
there.
Yeah. It
Wow.
makes
That's
sense.
super impressive. Lastly, the MTV VMAs were held last night on Sunday, August 30th. We watched it on the Discord together, so that was kind of cool. BTS performed remotely from Korea. They had a great performance. Check that one out. But BTS and On took home 4 awards, including Best Pop, Best Group, Best Choreography, and Best K-Pop. Blackpink also was a winner as they took home the Song of the Summer award for How You Like That, becoming the first K-pop girl group to win at the VMAs.
Oh wow, congrats. Oh my
Oh.
goodness. Wait, best pop track or best pop album?
Best Pop Track, I believe. No, is it track? There might not even be a song associated with that one. I
It's
would
just
have to
best
look
pop?
now.
Oh wow.
I think so. Yeah. Talk about the achievement as I look that up, sir.
I mean, no, that's crazy.
I feel like
Yeah.
it's also good that yes, I see they did best K-pop as well, but the fact that they're also
it's best
included
pop video. for
Video.
pop
Yeah.
video.
Video. Okay.
I like the inclusion of the bigger awards as well.
Right.
Yeah, I know.
yeah.
I know the controversy with the VMAs is that they don't
Yeah.
nominate them for the big stuff, right? Like Artist of the Year, that kind of stuff, Video of the Year, whatever they do. I don't even know, but I think, especially now that they're top on Billboard Hot 100, that kind of thing. I hope next year they're at least considered for that kind of stuff, right?
Yeah. I feel like with On, I don't think this is the craziest. I'm not too angry about it, but with Dynamite, now that it's #1 in Billboard
Yeah,
charts,
if
maybe.
Dynamite came out in 3 months ago and then they did and achieved the same type of stuff, right?
Yeah.
And then they snubbed them, I'd have way more of a problem with it.
It's harder now. They make
Yeah,
a
it's much
strong
harder, yeah.
case.
All right, but that was BTS's crazy 24-hour/1 week. Absolutely bananas, right?
Wild. Mad lads. All right, mad lads.
Quick takes. This is a really interesting one. Cube Entertainment recently signed an exclusive contract with Alibaba Group
Oh wow.
to support the activities of its artists in China. The artists of Cube will receive the support from Alibaba for activities such as movies, dramas, advertisements, and performances in China. So if you remember, Cube was the majority shareholder, changed to VTM. There was like this Chinese company that pretty much became that. So they have roots in China now.
Yeah.
Alibaba is one of the largest companies in China.
Basically Chinese Amazon.
Yeah. Well, this is low. Like, not a lot of people are talking about that. This might be a game changer for their company in terms of profits, right?
It's wild because if you think about Yuehua, which is a very Chinese-based company, you can tell they have lots of money. They're not afraid to invest big money. That's what we could get out of Cube.
Yeah.
That's what we could get out of G Idol.
Yeah, this low key has the potential of a game changing move. But
It could, yeah.
next, this is some news Anita might be happy about. August 25th, Mark officially rejoined NCT Dream and appeared on both the NCT Dream fan club and the V Live with the other members.
Wow.
Wow.
It happened.
It was a matter of time. Let's be real.
I don't know how the fan club works, but he was on like the roster of something, so it's official. Like it's going to happen, and it happened, and I think that's cool. And you know, in the past, there was like they said like Dream's gonna be shuffled up a little, how they're gonna do it. There might be a unit within a unit or something. There was another rumor. I don't know what's going to go on, but you know, Mark, good guy, really busy again, it seems, right?
Hey, it's been a
Always
long
working.
ass ride, but we're back.
Hey. All right, next one. Sock 3's Beach Again has surpassed Icon's Love Scenario with the most hours
Wow.
at number 1 on Melon by staying at the top of the chart for over 914 hours.
Wow.
Let me see how much that is in days. That's 38 days in a row.
That's quite a long period.
Yeah, that seems kind of bananas, right? That they're able to do
This
that.
project group too. Like, it's not like I mean, it is a serious project, right? But it felt like it's more like fun. Like, it's not meant to be like all in. Like, this is we're about to make money out of this. It just felt very fun, and I'm happily surprised. I'm really glad it's working out for them.
It's nuts. Next one. This is something interesting. The members of X1 reportedly held a private debut anniversary party at the Swing Entertainment office building. It was the group's first get-together since their unfortunate disbandment, with all members in attendance other than Johan, who could not attend due to his solo promotions for No More. I think the interesting thing is that it happened at the Swing Entertainment office.
Yeah.
I was about to say. It's a
Right?
little awkward, wouldn't you say?
Yeah.
I mean, on the positive note, I'm glad that they're like still friends.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
Or I hope they are, right? Like, it could easily end up in a situation where like these kids start pointing fingers at each other, but like clearly that hasn't happened if they're partying together. So like,
Yeah.
I'm glad they're friends.
I think the
Friends
X1
forever.
saga is like one of the oofs of last year.
Yeah.
Specifically because like clearly, regardless of what had happened, the fandom was there to support them, right? Like, it's not like they had no fans and they was like, all right, we got to end this. If I remember, they sold like 500,000 copies of the first song, right?
Yep.
So
Big numbers.
so that's why I think it's a little bit of a shame. Last one. Shout out to one of our mods again, Wolf, because he is a giant Rose fan. But JN Star Company has stated that the Rose's request for contract termination has been denied by the courts and will go to arbitration. So JN Star Company stated, quote, in March of this year, the Rose submitted a request for contract termination, citing reasons including outstanding payments, damage of trust, and exclusive contract violations. However, the court has denied this request.
What happens now?
It's a little awkward at work.
Yeah.
You go into work and you're like,
arbitration means essentially they're gonna hash it out and figure out what to do, in a legal sense. But the relationship's already clearly damaged to the point where I don't think there's coming back from this. It kind of sucks. I'm sure there's monetary considerations to think, because I don't think the Rose made a ton of money, and I'm assuming that they might have trainee debt, so it's gonna be messy, right?
Yeah.
Bit of an oof, right? It's one of those things, once you pull the trigger on being like, get me out of this contract, you're like, it's essentially done, right?
yeah, I mean, imagine going into work, but your boss is someone you sued. Yeah, not really. I wouldn't be comfortable at work. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, so Best of luck to the roast, though. But we are now at comebacks and releases. Warren, hit us with them. The next week is packed.
Yeah, I don't know how we're gonna pick people out of this. But anyway, September 1st on Tuesday we have Lovelies and we have Super M. On September 2nd, Wednesday, we have Ace as well as CLC. September 3rd on a Thursday, we have Super Junior D&E and Jamie. September 4th on Friday, we have One Hole. On September 7th, Monday, I'm blaming Doug on this. September 7th, Monday, we have Taemin's final comeback. His solo comeback, as well as Oh My Girl Yua's solo debut. In other release confirmed news, Astra Unit Moonbin and Tanha is dropping on September 14th. Nature Project in September. Treasure comeback in September. Fromis 9 confirmed for mid-September. T-Ara's Toyeon solo debut in October.
Hello.
All right, now we're at Hot Takes with Harold.
He sneaked up.
I know.
You seem to be struggling there saying those comebacks, sir.
Your accent came back.
It was spicy today. Although the question's not that spicy.
What happened to your British accent?
Yeah, I don't know what that was. But the Fuego question of the week is what kind of merch do you want from K-pop groups? Boom. You know,
yeah,
it's like Warren can afford anything. Bye.
Bro.
Bye, Harold.
I'm not gonna say bye to Harold. He's just
okay.
Man, I'm just gonna watch him go.
Well, Doug first apologizes for completely messing up Warren's dates he has to read every week.
It's okay. It's okay. It's a meme at this point, honestly.
I honestly tried not to mess it up, and I somehow still do. But
it happens.
The question for the week, Fuego question. I don't know how Fuego this is, but it's a question: is what kind of merch do you want from K-pop groups?
Man,
I think do you have some takes, Warren, about these merch things you want?
I mean, I have merch I want.
Okay, let me start off with something then, right?
Okay.
I think the problem with merch in K-pop is accessibility of this merch.
Yeah.
I think that is
official
the overarching
merch,
issue with all official merch. What I mean by that, I think if you're a BTS fan, you eating well, right? You generally there's so much merch for them that official merch that you probably can get it. And I would say to a little bit lower extent, Blackpink. I've seen a lot of their shirts at like Hot Topic, which is a edgy clothing store in the United States, and then Super M had their own distribution set up when they did Jopping back in the day. They had that website, so that was quite easy to get. I think outside of those groups, like even if you're lucky enough to even have a store that sells K-pop stuff, you pretty much just get albums and then fake merch for the most part.
Yeah, like fake photo cards, pins,
or like
right?
or like a fake banner they made, or like their face is printed on a pillow or something.
Yeah,
or like or like a unofficial slogan or something like that. But I think the big issue with merch in general is just like international fans, regardless of where you want, we want merch. Like we're willing.
Yes, we do.
And albums and merch are the easiest way for us to support our groups because not like they're touring all the time or anything like that, right? But we just can't get it. And even if we can get it on like eBay or something else, group orders might be a little bit sketchy because you have to put a lot of trust in that.
Yeah.
eBay, the shipping fees is ridiculous. You end up sometimes paying double the price. We just want merch. That's reasonable. But let's get to the topic now. What merch do we actually want, right? Can your boy get some goddamn t-shirts or hats or something from my groups that I like?
Oh.
Right? Like
smaller groups then,
The thing is, I don't want to walk around with the Rocket Punch logo on my t-shirt.
I mean like a little crest on a dad hat or something.
Right,
that'd be cool.
Like subtle ones.
Subtle merch.
Subtle merch. Like
or like Rocket a polo shirt with not the word Rocket Punch, but like the Punch logo or something.
Right.
I'd buy that. I'd buy that in an instant.
I would
right?
too. Yeah. I dig that.
It seems like even like the official merch, other than when you go to concerts, which even the t-shirts, they're like big picture of the group or like twice. I mean, I like my Twice Slice shirt, right? But like, I need to be in a mood to wear that out in public because like I'm gonna prepare myself,
Questions.
Yeah. I don't. Yeah, I remember the Twice hoodie. I remember looking at it. It's like black and has like Twice lights written all over the sleeves. I was like, a little too much. Let's tone it down a little bit.
But even like, I'm gonna get specific, right? I'm a Wiz one. We're supposed to be wizards, right?
Yeah.
Can your boy get an official wizard hat or a wand or something? Like, is that too much to ask? That's something that I want personally. You know, Luna has been killing the merch game. I don't know how they've been setting up pathways for international fans to buy it, number one, which is cool.
Oh, yeah. That's nice.
Because even I have this like acrylic stand, which is a photo of them, and I have a slogan. I bought that on an official website. Shipping wasn't too ridiculous, so that was kind of easy. But they now have like they released the light stick, which is a scepter. They got a cape going.
Whoa.
A cape?
They're selling like a regal cape now, and I know
They're going to be wizards.
I know Malfiar on the server bought the cape, and I've been asking for a picture of it whenever it comes in.
Yo,
I want a cape. But what are some merch you guys want?
I mean, not that I'm gonna ever wear a cape in public, but I do think like novelty products like that is kind of appealing. Like a comparison that I'm gonna make is like with like Supreme, right?
Yeah.
And I think someone in our Discord mentioned this as well, but Supreme is one of those streetwear brands where like every season they do something wacky. A while back they had the Supreme brick, you know, and like they have like stuff like Bluetooth speakers or like flashlights, stuff like that. I think it's a common thing for like established streetwear brands to do those things. I would buy a Rocket Punch brick, like.
I mean, like I want like display pieces, right?
Display pieces.
Okay.
Like, you know how you buy that Supreme brick, you put it on a nice shelf, and you're like flexing my brick over here, right?
Yeah.
I want things like that. I'm down
Not
for
really
some weird
apparel.
stuff.
Okay, I thought you meant like statue busts of people.
No, that's too much. That's too much. I don't need to get busty up in here, sir.
Oh, you know what I also want?
Okay, what do you want?
I want food.
You want
Food?
Like, well, okay.
Okay.
Speaking of food,
I'm not saying like Rocket Punch crackers or Twice crackers or anything. I'm talking about like
Punch.
if they okay, Anita, stop. Sorry, if they had Rocket Punch or like whatever idol on the cover and a little trading card inside or like a photo card inside, that'd be kind of cool, I would Lotte, do that. I will buy your potato chips.
but
I will collect some cards.
I'm gonna transition to Anita. But when I went to Korea, I got Anita some
Yes,
K-pop
you did.
food.
That's
Yes,
true.
you did.
Actually,
There
that's
was
the
like
thing.
shiny chocolate or NCT brain nuts or something. Like,
That's a little weird.
I mean, well, that SM store in Korea, they actually have branded food for their artists. It's
They
kind of
do.
crazy.
I just wish there was more of it. Yeah.
But Anita, what kind of merch do you want from K-pop groups?
Kind of going off of that too, because I remember seeing a little bit of this at the SM Town like gift shop that they had. But stationery, I feel like stationery is an avenue they have not explored fully because it's so easy to make like stickers and like notepads and pencils, stuff like that it just has like the brand. And I feel like it's also a little bit on the side of being more subtle, where it's not like as big as a t-shirt or apparel, but you could still do a lot with it as far as like comebacks. Like if they have a comeback, they'll do a different type of stationery to go along with it. And I know that some album packaging includes stickers. I think I've seen it a couple of times, but it would be nice to have like a sticker book or something that is just dedicated to this promotion period, or notebooks, notepads, sticky notes, pens, pencils. I don't know. I personally really like stationery, and I feel like it's very unique. If a group had that every once in a while.
Yeah,
So-
I don't. Oh, what, Oren? I saw you rummaging over there.
I don't remember where it is, but I have a jury notebook.
See, that's that kind of stuff where
From
it's
Japan, right?
Official AKB merch that I
Yeah.
bought when I went
Yeah.
to Japan. Yeah, that is pretty cool. Not gonna lie.
I also feel like things like stationery and stuff. How hard is it to like collab with a like 5-star or something, right? Like, and put the put a logo somewhere on it. I don't think that's the most ridiculous thing ever. I
Yeah.
think I don't know.
I was gonna say BTS has that going on though. Like if you're a fan, they do have the BT21.
BT21 line.
Yeah, and that
yeah.
I feel like that works perfectly because I saw a lot of stores. I went to a lot of them in Korea, and they have so much merch, so much. It'd be really cool if more companies did something similar. Maybe not to that extent, like the magnitude. If I don't know if it's possible, but something in that line where it's specifically for merch. Maybe like that's the brand that they're making in the merch.
Speaking of that, right? Like, because I'm a person that enjoys buying clothing, I know that brands like H&M, brands like Uniqlo, even though Uniqlo is not on great terms of career right now, they do collabs with singers a lot.
Oh, yeah.
Uniqlo has a Billie Eilish collab.
I'm wearing a
out.
Uniqlo Super Mario collab right
Right,
now.
you're wearing a Super Mario collab. I know. I can't think of Weekend was one of the examples that H&M collabed with. We could maybe see some Super H&M collab. Like that. That'd be kind of cool.
That'd be kind of cool. It's just like, I feel like, other than a couple like meme items I would want, I feel like we're not asking for anything ridiculous, right?
Oh, no.
I think I can actually ask for one thing that's ridiculous.
Okay.
And that's not really a piece of merch, but kind of going back to the thing you said in the beginning, where the hurdle to getting merch into the international audience is kind of high, right?
Yeah.
You have to be from either an established company or already an established group, where you are sure that you're going to get the investment value out of your investment in order to invest. That's a lot of invests, but in order to get that, in order to make money, you got to make sure you're not going to lose money here. And I understand. And that's partially because getting your merch to international audiences, very difficult. I understand.
Costly, yeah.
Right, you're right. This is where the government should step in.
Oh.
I agree.
The cultural government the culture ministry is always like, we're doing so much to help these K-pop artists. No, you're
Exporting
not.
exporting Hallyu, right? That kind
Yeah, the BS. None of you guys are doing it. You guys are just sitting there. This is where they should step in, provide a better a channel to export, merch, albums, lower the shipping
Products,
costs, so that we're not paying $20 for shipping for $20 an album. Like, that's what I'm gonna ask for, and that's why you guys should vote me for the Ministry of Culture,
And
Arts,
tourism.
and
tourism or something like that.
yeah, something like that.
I agree.
Okay,
Like,
yeah.
it's even to the point now where it's like, I just want anything. Right? like the only like Eyes One merch I have is from people who bought them at concerts, and I know I'm getting like they're scalping me for them, right? Like they're putting them at a crazy price, but like I want it, so I'm willing to pay something crazy, right?
I will say, I also want to see like Korean rapper merch out here. Like, I know AOMG, Would You Be Hang, they doing these things. Yumta has a t-shirt series. Obviously, he's a single guy doing his own thing. I'm not gonna get his t-shirt any day soon. But they recently, there's a club in Korea called Hands Modesty. They're about to go bankrupt, obviously because of the virus situation. So they collabed with a bunch of artists, to do special release t-shirts, profits going to keeping the club alive. I want to buy one. I do. I want to support the venue that my favorite artists go and perform at.
Yeah.
Except the shipping is like $20, and I'm not sure if that's worth for a long sleeve t-shirt.
I agree. I think at the end of the day, it's like, we want merch, but at the same time, like, we want to show our support, and by buying merch, we're financially supporting the groups we like, right? And as I always say, it's like, we don't even have the opportunity to do that right now, other than buy albums. And like, I'm not gonna buy 20 copies of Eyes One albums or something, right? Like, I think that's ridiculous on a personal level. But if there was some merch I could buy at a reasonable price, I'd probably buy a lot of it because it'd be interesting, right? And I think as international fans, I don't know about how it is in like countries closer to Korea, but in the United States, it's rough trying to get merch.
Yeah.
Like, it's rough, and we just want some. But down in the comment sections or on Discord, please let us know what merch you want. I know we asked it for a question of the day on our Discord, but
Hey, our YouTube audience and our Spotify audience.
But maybe what we said had some kind of impact on your thinking, and maybe you thought of new ideas. So let us know. But State of the Nation. I think Warren wants to go first, so hit us with some
Go on,
states
Warren.
of your nation, I guess.
I'm gonna do only one thing. I'm not gonna do both. I
Okay.
think. Sorry, I had to burp. I think it's kind of difficult to discuss Korean music in the 2010s without discussing an album. The album's called "The Anecdote" by Essence. It's very widely critically acclaimed. It's influenced a lot of the Korean rap albums that are coming out today. It influenced a lot of rappers in Korea. And it is not it means a lot for the industry and a lot for the culture. For that album to get such recognition and for that album to be released in specific because Essence was in jail when the album dropped. And I'm talking about this album all of a sudden because it's the 5th anniversary since the album dropped. There was a small EP with some bootlegs that came out called the Marigold Tapes. And I was going back and listening, and I'm sure I've talked about this album in specific somewhere before. And I hope you guys can find English subs somewhere. Actually back in time. I have an English sub video from back in 2014 or 15 or something. 15 because the song dropped. Actually, I don't remember. But anyways, go look at the English subs because it is a very clear portrayal of a person growing up in Korea, and it's not the epic story of a rapper. It's more like it honestly just feels like you're just drinking with this guy, and he's sharing his stories. And each stories build into each other to create this whole appealing character of how Essence thinks and what he thinks, and it's at points it's funny. At points it does make you cry. I say this every now and then, but there has not been an album that has made me cry more than this album. And I don't want to go into further detail about what it is about because I want you guys to enjoy it. But there was a documentary discussing the influence it has had on the culture and the industry. Zion T was on it, Woo Won-jae was on it. And maybe you haven't heard of Essence, maybe you haven't heard of The Anecdote by Essence. But it is one of those albums that all your favorite rappers like this album. He's your favorite rapper's favorite rapper. And trust me when I say that, I really mean it. No, that's a common thing that rap artists say, right? Like, I'm your favorite artist. And there's none other in Korea that applies better than Essence. So this week, I'm gonna recommend this album, Anecdote by Essence. It's a very old school rap album influenced by the 90s, but it's not too heavy in terms of tone. It's not too light in terms of tone. It's the right balance in the middle. The producer that produced every track in the album is called Obi Klein. Obi Klein's a guy who worked on various SM tracks. I know he's worked on Rookie. Not Rookie. He's worked on a bunch of Red Velvet songs. I forget which.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, but
Sounds familiar. Yeah.
Yeah. You have to check it out. It honestly played a big role in shaping who I am as a person. So yeah.
Okay. But I got that. I heard Anita's been watching webtoons and she wants to recommend to us 2 of them.
Yes, yeah. So I read a couple of series or checked them out a long time ago, a couple of years ago, and then I kind of lost track because I don't pay coins to get coins and read the latest episodes. So I usually have to wait, and then I lose interest, and then I forget about it. But there's been a couple of series that are very far into, and you'll have plenty of chapters to read before you actually have to wait for the updates. So the first one I want to recommend is called True Beauty, and this is such a popular webtoon. I feel like you've seen commercials for this on YouTube somewhere. And the story is basically, it deals about makeup and your self-image and what that means to the protagonist. So it's very interesting. There's romance. It's funny. The illustration, the art style, is very interesting. I think it's very similar to a like a video game-ish type of illustration. Like the certain shots are very detailed, very high definition. But it's really cool. It focuses a lot on makeup, fashion. So if you like that, this is a really fun story that deals with that kind of topic of like self-image, makeup, and what that means to people, young people. And the second one I want to talk about is called Your Letter. So this one is very, very short. It's only 12 chapters, so you could get through this in definitely less than an hour, maybe 30 minutes. But the story is very cool. It's kind of like a mystery, like slice of life type of thing. And it also deals with like middle school students. I think that's the age group, and like doing the right thing and bullying stuff going on. But it's really cool. There's a bit of a mystery throughout the whole story, so it has like a very, I don't know, like trying to figure out what's going on, like what this letter is coming from, who this person is. So definitely check it out if you're into that sort of stuff. And the illustration also for this is very cool. I think
It's very pretty.
Yeah. The background for a lot of this is very, very cool. The shots that they made, very, very nice. But yeah, if it's a short read, so check it out if you're looking into that.
Awesome.
Your letter does feel like, it almost feels like a Korean take on like a Ghibli kind of.
Yes. Yes.
Beautiful
Yes, yes, yes.
backgrounds. The whole concept is great. It did win comic book of the year last year.
Yeah, it got a book. Yes, it got a book released.
On the other hand, True Beauty, I didn't know what you're referring to because the Korean title is actually called 여신 강림, getting a drama later this year.
I knew it. It's so popular.
You know what's also crazy?
Huge.
The webtoon artist looks like the main character. Like she's actually that good looking.
Oh,
It's kind of nuts.
I didn't know.
You talking about
True
main character
Beauty.
with or without the makeup?
I don't know what the
That's
drama is.
the
I was just
whole-
googling it, but if you look up the webtoon artist for True Beauty, you'll be shocked.
Okay.
Pure visuals. But yeah. So Warren's recommending E-Sense. Which album was it?
The Anecdote.
The Anecdote, and Anita is recommending webtoons True Beauty and Your Letter. All I've been doing is playing that Minju game, the card game. You know, on Saturday, an update dropped, right?
Oh?
Yeah.
I left work 30 minutes early to go catch this update because time was of the essence. Because, you know, the update dropped, they add new cards, I need to get the low editions.
Yeah.
I have successfully acquired Rocket Punch Jury #1.
Wow.
I have the first edition of Jury. It's on my account, but symbolically Warren owns it. So we got Warren
In
Rocket Punch
spirit.
Jury #1 card. And for reference, that's kind of ridiculous. Like it's kind of nuts. Like
Number
one.
one.
It's like there's serial numbers on something, and we have #1. So we are in possession of Jury #1.
Wow.
I would like to sincerely thank you, Douglas.
I gave up a kidney for that one. Let's just
I will never, make up for this big of a debt.
It's fine. I was in it for the lols too, so I was like, "Can I get this?" And I told the guy like, "I need this," so he finally budged.
It's
But,
necessary.
All right, it's spoiler time because we're gonna be talking about Island. I will give
Island!
a really brief summary as to what happened because the performances weren't that interesting. What was interesting was who got edited well and who didn't. I think this
True.
fall.
Boy, more
Editing.
drama? Is that what's happening?
So we're down to
Always.
11 kids. They broke up into two teams, Flicker and Dive Into You. Heesung, who placed #1 last week on the producer round, got to pick not only the song he wanted, but his group members.
Oh wow.
Yes.
So he picked himself, obviously K, Jungwon, Jake, and Sunghoon, which is stacked because all 5 of those were in the top 7 last week.
That's what it looks like.
The other team ended up being Jay, Sunu, Hanbin, Nikki, Taki, and Daniel. They performed Dive Into You. Honestly, I think Flicker was better. What about you, Anita?
Really? I feel like Flicker, I see the vibe they were going into, but personally, I liked the performance and the song itself more of Dive Into You.
I could
I
see
don't know.
that for sure.
I feel like it was more, it seemed to fit more of their age, I guess. Like, it seemed more fun.
That's fair. But so they've been voting since last week, right? And
Yes.
our big question was, are the people going to get eliminated? No. So after this show aired, they allowed for 24 hours more of voting, right?
Correct, yeah.
Jake, who was in Team Flicker, which was the 5, like the Avengers, he ended up getting first place among the producers. So his benefit was, for the final 24 hours of voting, all of his votes count double.
Yep.
So
Practically safe.
he's practically safe, right? So that's pretty much all that happened. The interesting thing was, certain people got edited really well, certain people got edited horribly, and certain people got 0 screen time this episode.
Yeah.
It was very heavy-handed. So, person who got good editing, Jay.
100%.
The guy who we've said had a bad ego, his whole storyline was, you know what? Heesung didn't pick me. I'm going to lead this other team and we're going to beat you. And he had this hardworking attitude. He ran the whole group well. He got a perfect edit. Like,
Yeah.
Oh wow.
amazing edit this entire episode.
Mm-hmm.
And
Wow.
he did well. The producers were like, man, Jay, you led the team well. You looked good. Everything's coming together for you. Like, that was literally his edit.
It was a great argument that he's a good member for the possible group.
And he was on my, like, borderline, maybe 6th or 7th, possibly.
Yeah.
Now, I'm going to say he's pretty close now to being
Yeah.
locked into. On the other hand, Kay, who was in Team Flicker, the good team, had one of the worst edits. Like, the whole edit was pretty much, the storyline was, Heesung's the leader of this group, but Kay's actually leading everything because he's the oldest and everyone's afraid to disagree with him.
Ooh.
And there wound up being an intervention, essentially, where they're like, we all feel afraid to tell you stuff because when we say we disagree or give our input, you have this, like, angry look and we don't know if we can say anything.
Wait, they had an intervention?
Yeah.
Essentially, it was rough.
Yo.
It was-
And even Heesung, like, off, like, he wasn't expecting to be recorded. He was like, yeah, I'm a little afraid to say anything. He said that. That was literally what came out of his mouth.
Dang.
Yeah.
He's the second oldest, isn't he?
He's like the second in command of this whole show, if not number 1, right? So, like, he was even on team, like, interventions. And then
Yeah.
Kay ended up leaving the room and crying. It was rough.
It was, to be honest, it was a confusing edit for me because
Yeah.
it felt like both Heesung and Kay were being very polite. I would say, like, they were not being
it was
aggressive,
so
right?
awkward, though.
Yeah, like awkward, but still like going just around it, like not really confronting anything. But
Yeah.
you could still sense that it was a little off, and the way that they approached, or the way that Heesung and the others were kind of saying, like, yeah, we kind of don't feel comfortable voicing our own opinions and saying like what we would like to do. I feel like I could see that Kay might feel like a little hurt because he didn't think it was going badly, although I kind of find it hard to believe.
Yeah, it was kind of going badly.
Yeah, it was a little
it was
awkward.
awkward.
Yeah.
Here's an example, Warren. They formed this group. They went into the room, and Heesung's like, "Yo, let's divide up the parts." And part 2 was the good part, right? And Heesung wanted to do that, obviously. But Heesung was like, "I think if we do it like this, the members would kind of make sense. We're showing off our strengths." He's like, "You should be part 1. You should be part 3. Whatever, right?"
That makes sense.
Kay goes, "That's not how I see it, fam." And he literally said, like, it should be like this. And then everyone was like, okay, I guess we'll go with what Kay said.
Yeah.
And there was so many, "Are you happy with this?" And everyone's like, yeah. And
Yes.
it was so
So
awkward.
awkward.
Yeah.
It kind
Yo.
of felt like there was a bit of I wouldn't call it like
Power
conflict,
struggle? I don't
but
know.
it was. I felt like Kay we've seen as a leader in the previous episodes, right? And Heesung was a leader, or at least helped out in the leadership position when Taki couldn't really take charge, or he didn't really know how
Yeah.
to. So I see them both as leader types. Like
For sure.
they want to be in that position.
Alpha
I guess.
dogs.
Yeah. So I feel like they were kind of being polite, but still kind of confronting each other. Like, I want to do it this way, and you want to do it this way. So it was odd, and I feel like they're friends. I guess if they were not, I don't know. I feel like Kay
Yeah.
more in this episode was just trying to show off like his leadership position, I guess.
But he's not the
And-
leader.
Technically,
but,
yeah.
technically not. But
Yeah.
it was.
And
I
then
don't know. It felt weird.
it was other awkward things that happened with Heesung and Kay. Heesung like was recalling what happened to him in the first episode when people called him out. He was like, you know, Kay was one of the people who called me out back then, and then he critiqued my level of skill or something. He mentioned it was a little
first
awkward.
episode of season 1.
Yeah, he of the first half he mentioned that.
Oh man, that voting thing really.
Yeah, it really messed him up at the beginning because he was like, I got like yelled at for being the leader, and then at one point because they were basically following Kay in practice, and Kay is very dance focused. They were almost purely focused on dance, and then the singing trainer came in, and she just chewed out Heesung for not making them practice singing enough. Like, it was rough.
Wasn't Kay the kid that like scolded Nikki?
Yeah.
It's been a little rough for Kay.
But I'm looking good for this
So
kid.
those were the good and bad storylines. But some people like Hanbin, Nikki, Taki, Daniel had like almost no screen time this episode.
That's very true.
The only thing Hanbin did was talk about how broken his banana was, I think.
Individually, yeah.
Individually, that was the only screen time he got. Was they were eating
Banana?
breakfast, and he's like, "Oh, my banana's broken.
Oh.
Oh no!" That's literally the only like solo line he pretty much said the entire episode.
For a second, I thought that was euphemism for something.
Oh no!
No.
Like
No.
his banana
ain't
he was
broken.
eating for breakfast was literally broken, and that's
Okay.
literally all the lines he had.
Well, I'm glad he's healthy and not injured.
For instance, someone tallied up the number of individual dialogues from this episode.
Oh.
Heesung
Okay.
had 155, Jay had 136, Jungwon 86, Sunghoon 83, Jake 82, K 72, Sunwoo 67, Daniel 61. Then it drops off. Nikki 24, Taki 13, Hanbin 8.
I mean, here's the thing. I think it comes down to two things, right? Maybe from the editor's perspective, where they have to put out the interesting parts of the show and like focus on the ratings. Okay, I get it. You gotta have a narrative, you know, put out the interesting characters, you know, give them screen time. I get that, but like 13 versus 108 versus 150 something. Like, come on.
I mean,
You're not
also,
even trying.
I feel like, yes, from editing standpoint, the drama was in the Flickr group because they had some inner group stuff to figure out. But I feel like even despite that, I looked forward to the Dive Into You group,
For
the one
sure.
with Jay, so much more because it felt
The
like
vibes were good.
Yes, it was more comfortable. They were like, Jay was making them work hard,
Like,
but
let's put
they
this, like,
felt like
they
a
had to do
goal
like
driven. Yeah.
a worm move or something, and Sun
Yes.
was like a really skinny kid, and he's like, I don't have upper body strength, help me, right? So Jay's like, yo, let's do like 100 push-ups every day until we perform this so we get jacked or something.
Man.
Like, he
But
was
they all
doing
did
fun
it,
stuff like
yeah.
that, and everyone was like, yeah, I guess so, it'll help us in the long run, right?
Here's the thing, though, right? This episode feels like a typical underdog wins kind of narrative, and that's
The underdog didn't win, but the underdogs, a lot of them got better editing, I would say.
Oh, they didn't win.
I wouldn't say there's a winner, but like
Oh,
the way they critiqued the two groups, it felt like
Yeah.
Flickr would have won if the producers
right.
actually chose.
And it seems like the rabbit kind of slept while the turtle, walked.
Yeah,
Did push-ups. Sorry,
But,
or
yeah,
was
I
it
feel
sit-ups?
like,
I forget.
I feel like specifically Nikki, Taki, and Hanbin are in trouble, right? It just feels like it to me.
They could have given Hanbin a lot of like interviews, like since he's the other 22-year-old, right? Like they could have been
Yeah,
like,
but,
"How
like,
do you
he-
see yourself?"
All he
as
got
the
was
older person.
all
here?
he was doing was talking about a banana, and it was not a great look.
And it was literal banana.
literal banana.
Yes.
Okay. It was it was like I was like, why are they showing him with a broken banana? Why is this a thing? But that was his line for the week. I'm interested to see what happens next week because I'm assuming that someone's gonna be eliminated like almost instantly right at the front.
Yeah. Yep.
And then 17 is showing up. 4 kids. The 8,
yeah.
June, Dino, and Hoshi are showing up in the
That's
flesh this
fun.
time. And they're going to do a mini mission, which will lead into a bigger mission, which is 5-on-5, where they're going to be doing 2 new songs, Chamber 5, Dream of Dreams, and Flame On. And then someone's going to be eliminated in that round based on what the producers pick. So that should be cool. But
These are
I
all
don't-
new songs.
Both new songs, I believe.
Yes.
Okay.
But it was like not much about the actual performance. It was about the drama this week, I would say, for the most part. We'll have to see what happens because, you know, I thought K was one of the locked-in kids. Maybe not with this editing they keep giving him, right? Like,
It's a little rough.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
last week I was willing to, you know, like, maybe. But, like, this week I'm like, yeah.
can I make one other take, Anita? The team of Flicker, right? Felt like an actual group.
Oh, wow.
Also, the thing I felt, they felt like, I'm not saying they're more mature than TXT, but the age range felt older than TXT. Just
They
like
have
the
a
Is it-
14 and a
yeah.
15-year-old.
No,
they
but
got two
just-
14-year-olds.
but in Flicker, just like the song choice, it was like very mature that they chose.
That's what I thought was interesting. And I feel like I guess he's unpicked a member, so I guess he was thinking of members that fit that vibe, that I guess are more mature.
It turned out pretty good though.
Yeah, so it suited them.
But yeah, that was pretty much the island summary. But that pretty much wraps up this episode 102. Next week though, I don't know how we're gonna pick between like Lovely, Super M, CLC, Super Junior Genie, Jamie, Wonho, Taemin, Yuan.
Too many.
There's gonna have to be sacrifices, so don't be too angry at us. Like we max cover like 5, right?
Yeah.
So some people are gonna have to get cut, but it is what it is. So this has been Soju Talk episode 102. I'm Doug. I'd like to thank Warren and Anita for joining me. We'll see you guys next time when we cover a bunch of songs from all of these significant artists. We'll see you then, guys. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Ice cream.
Special shoutouts to our Fiesta patrons: Based, Mina, Jenai, Goku Mama, Jacob, Malfiar, NJ Park, Nab Wilson, Tier. Thank you for joining SojuTalk, the weekly shot of K-pop. And special thanks to our Discord server mod, Jacob, K-Music Erday, Malfiar, No Bias Luna, Tuggle, V, and Wolf297.